32 years ago, the world of soap operas was forever changed when Days of Our Lives introduced a character that would go on to capture the hearts of millions, Abigail Johanna Devereaux. Born to legacy characters Jack Devereaux and Jennifer Horton, Abigail's arrival on October 19, 1992. On that fateful day, Jennifer and Jack were traveling, caught in the throes of a severe storm that seemed to mirror the intensity of the lives they had lived. The storm forced them off the road, leading them to an abandoned cabin on the outskirts of Salem. Isolated from the world, Jennifer went into labor. In this remote, makeshift shelter, amidst the sound of thunder and pouring rain, Abigail Johanna Devereaux came into the world. Her birth wasn't just dramatic, it was symbolic of the whirlwind existence she would face from that moment onward. From the start, Abigail's life was marked by crisis. As a child, she was diagnosed with aplastic anemia, a life-threatening condition that sent her family into turmoil. The Devereaux household was never a peaceful one. Jack, her father, was a constant presence in her and Jennifer's lives, sometimes as a protector, sometimes as a source of chaos. His life was a roller coaster, filled with disappearances, presumed deaths, and miraculous returns, which left a lasting imprint on young Abigail. But Abigail, much like her parents, was a fighter. Throughout her life, she faced adversity that would break most people. From medical battles to emotional turmoil, she grew into a woman who had inherited not only her mother's strength but also her father's resilience. Yet the turbulence never let up. Her relationship with DiMera, the love of her life, was riddled with obstacles, not least of which was her brush with death, more than once. The first real echo of her dramatic birth came years later when Abigail found herself in a situation eerily similar to her own arrival into the world. When she gave birth to her son, Thomas, it wasn't in the safety of a hospital but, once again, in a remote cabin. This time, however, the circumstances were even darker. Abigail was being held hostage by Ben Weston, a man whose obsession with her nearly led to her fiery demise. Trapped and terrified, she gave birth under the most harrowing conditions, fighting for her life and that of her unborn child. Like her father before her, Abigail danced with death on more than one occasion. In fact, she even followed in Jack's footsteps by faking her own death, a desperate attempt to escape the chaos that had consumed her life. For a time, it seemed like the end, but in the world of Days of Our Lives, death is rarely the end of the story. Jack Devereaux, after all, had cheated death countless times. If Jack could rise from the dead, why couldn't Abigail? But then, in a shocking and heartbreaking twist, Abigail's life was cut short in the most brutal way. 2 years ago, she was murdered by Clyde Weston, sending shockwaves through Salem and devastating the fans who had followed her journey since birth. Her death felt so final, so senseless, yet in Salem, nothing is ever truly certain. Fans have clung to hope, because if there's one thing Abigail's life has taught us, it's that nothing is impossible. Chad and Abigail mirror that same unbreakable bond. Their love, like Jack and Jennifer's, transcended the ordinary. It was passionate, intense, and above all, destined. Salem has long been a place where love can conquer anything, even the grave. So, it's no wonder that fans believe Abigail's story isn't over yet. For 2 years, viewers have held out hope for Abigail's return, just as they did for her father so many times before. In a world where the impossible becomes reality, where the dead can walk again, there is always a chance. Abigail's life was shaped by drama, tragedy, and resilience, but above all, it was shaped by love, the kind of love that transcends even death. So, will Abigail ever return to Days of Our Lives? Thanks for watching, goodbye.